It's Mischief Night. Good morning, Staples. The TV production class and the journalism class collaborated to produce a special show. We'll bring it to you after the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hi, I'm Tyler.
Hi, I'm Jada.
And today, and for this week, we looked at two different aspects of Halloween. We looked at the best horror movies.
And best costumes.
And here's our piece. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
So what's the scariest movie you've ever seen?
The Conjuring.
So what's the scariest movie you've ever seen?
I'd have to say The Exorcism.
So what's your favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror movie would have to be any one of the Scary Movie series.
So what's the best horror movie you've ever seen?
The best horror movie I've ever seen would have to be Insidious. I thought that movie was scary.
What's the best Halloween costume you've ever had?
A Ninja Turtle costume.
Alright.
So what's the best costume you've ever seen?
I remember one year this kid was dressed up as a Ninja Turtle. It's pretty cool.
So what's the best costume you've ever seen for Halloween?
The best costume I ever saw was my brother, who's 6'6", and he went to Washington State after Mount St. Helens erupted, and got a lot of ashes. So he made himself Mount St. Helens, and he had a cone, and he had a tube going down to his mouth, and every once in a while he'd puff out the real ashes out of his volcano. So he was a volcano. And then he had a little bit too much to drink, and he inhaled it.
So we went around asking people about their Halloween stories of the past and what they're doing for Halloween this year. Now before that, the tweet of the week.
Staples, day 45. What's your favorite Halloween costume of all time? How come?
In 6th grade for Halloween, I was Lady Gaga. I found just like a steak outfit. It wasn't even a dress, and I wore that with the blonde wig and like the hair bow. And I won candy for that.
But in elementary school, I was a firefighter all 6 years.
Well, since Halloween is on a Thursday night this year, on a school night, I think that I'll stay home and help my mom hand out candy to kids on my street. But then on Friday, I think that since that's not a school night, my friends and I are having a Halloween party, a costume party.
Probably go back to my hometown for Halloween like I usually do.
I'm gonna be Salt.
And I'm gonna be Pepper.
We're gonna be Salt and Pepper.
This Halloween, I'm not going trick-or-treating, and I'm probably going to hang out with my friends.
Yeah, I think I'll hang out with my friends too, or hand out candy with them. This year, I'll probably be going trick-or-treating. One year, I sold all my Halloween candy to someone for $5, which was pretty fun.
When I was younger, I used to trick-or-treat around my street with my neighbors and family.
Okay, well, this Halloween, my friends and I will be shadow hunters, which are things from a book, and we're celebrating my friend's birthday.
This Halloween, I don't think I'm gonna do anything. I'm probably just gonna go to like Halloween party.
I was a pumpkin for Halloween.
I was a black cat for 8 years straight, but this year I want to try something different.
When I was 16, I worked for Pepperidge Farm, an outlet store, and I made a life-size goldfish costume out of yellow felt. So I was a cheddar goldfish for Halloween that year.
So for Halloween, every year we celebrate my mom's birthday, and it's also actually my best friend's birthday from home. So we're celebrating both their birthdays, and this year I'm actually flying down to Atlanta, Georgia for a trip to the Atlanta area to see some family.
My perfect Halloween night would probably be sleeping, catch up on all the sleep I'm losing.
Our ideal Halloween night is being dressed up as bananas and getting a lot of candy from Harry Styles.
Except this year, I'm really hoping that there actually is a Halloween, because last year there was Sandy, and the year before there was the snowstorm.
You get a lot of candy in your Halloween bag, so what's the last one left?
Here, find out.
Be Almond Joy. Kit Kats.
Almond Joys.
Skittles. Candy corn. India's Pixie Sticks.
I'm gonna have to answer Kit Kat. I'm pretty sure it's not quite chocolate. It's got really like a plasticky flavor. It's no good, man. No good.
I'm Nick. And I'm Robert. And we were wondering what some Staples students were doing for Halloween. Here it is.
Okay, so what are you guys doing for Halloween? Like, are you gonna go to a party, or are you gonna go like trick or treating or whatever?
For Halloween, I'm going to go trick or treating with my family, and we're all gonna dress up, and it's gonna be really fun. What about you guys?
I'm gonna go trick or treating.
I'll be planning on doing the same thing.
So, like, what are your like thoughts on Halloween? Like, do you think it's like sort of a all ages kind of holiday, or is it more like for kids?
I think that anyone can participate in Halloween.
Definitely all ages. I mean, I love candy. Who are we kidding?
Well, I'm probably gonna go see friends and just hang out. Nothing too big.
I'm probably just gonna stay home, eat some candy. Yeah, and then probably go to a friend's house.
I think it's sometimes overrated, and sometimes people make too small of a deal out of it. Like, it's not really a thing anymore. Like when last year we had the thing where they delayed Halloween. The year before they also did that, I think, when we had the snow. So, or they didn't delay it,
Yeah. So, do you think that it's more for kids, or it's sort of like an all ages thing?
I think all ages can do it, it's just that people decide not to.
I'm probably going to go trick-or-treating, same as every year. I think it's a good way for people to get together and just get outside for a little bit.
Cool. So do you think it's like more for kids, or sort of an all ages
I think it's fun for every age. It's like a little different for younger kids than it is for older kids, but everyone can have fun on a holiday.
With Halloween just around the corner, we became interested in the history of witchcraft in Westport.
So we interviewed Margaret Levitas from the Westport Historical Society. Here's what she had to say.
Alright, so in order to be taken seriously as a witch, if you really want to be known as a witch, you need your cloak, right? You need your hat, you need your wand for casting spells, you need your familiar who helps you in doing your spells and your witchcraft work. You need your little purse to carry your lucky stones around. You have an amulet, which is good luck, that you wear. And of course you need your cauldron in order to mix up your potions and herbal medicines. Now, to get down to reality, now here in Westport, we had, indeed of course, we had our little Westport witches. One woman, her name was Mercy Despro, operated the ferry across the Saugatuck River from East Ferry Lane to West Ferry Lane. She was accused of witchcraft, but people came to her support. They supported her, and although she was convicted, she was never executed. There was another woman, a Goody Knapp. Now, interesting, in that period, women were called good wife and goodman. So instead of Mr. and Mrs., it was good wife and goodman. So a lot of the witches had the name Goody, because that was just their title. So Goody Knapp was also accused and executed. And another woman here in Westport was Mary Staples. And she was accused by no other than Roger Ludlow, who founded the settlement in the first place back in 1648. And Roger Ludlow did not like Mary because she was outspoken, and she was always questioning and challenging him. So of course she had to be a witch, right, in order to do this. But fortunately for Mary, she had a husband who was an attorney. See, she had a man to protect her. So he sued Roger Ludlow for blasphemy and for ruining her reputation. And she was excused. She was not accused. And actually, she was accused 2 other times, and each time her husband got her off. But Roger Ludlow was so shamed that he packed up and left the colony and was never seen again. Roger Ludlow, of course, we know from Fairfield. The plantation at Fairfield, we called them plantations in those days, was called Unclaw. So he was the one who brought the original 9 families down from Windsor, Connecticut to found the settlement in what is now Fairfield.
Hi Staples, we asked teachers about Halloween stories from their past.
And here's what they said.
When I was in 8th grade, I wanted to go out trick-or-treating with my friends, and there was a torrential downpour that year, and my father forbade me to go because he was afraid that I would get really wet and really sick. But I went anyway because he wasn't home, and when I came home, I rang the doorbell to be let into the house, sopping wet, completely drenched, and he opened the door and opened it, saw me, and then shut it in my face. And I was grounded for a long time, and I also was sick for the rest of the winter with bronchitis and really bad chest cold. So it was fun, but the repercussions were not so fun.
Halloween really is my favorite holiday of the year, better than Christmas, my birthday, everything combined. Love dressing up, love having fun with certain costumes. My most memorable ones are probably, I did a homemade Stay Puft Marshmallow Man costume that was like 7 feet tall for a costume contest, and I lost, so it was like the worst time of my life losing that contest. I've done Mugatu, I've done some other ones I can't really remember, but it's fun just to dress up, kind of let loose and just kind of, be a character for the night. So a lot of good memories from Halloween, looking forward to this Halloween and I don't know, the ones to come.
It's a really sad story. I was about 7 and we were living in Navy housing, and there were thousands of kids around, and I got pushed over and they stole my whole bag of candy, the big boys, and so I never got any candy that year because my siblings wouldn't share with me, and I cried.
I have some stories about growing up in a household with a mother who kind of treated every day like Halloween. She got, and it was this pig mask, and it was just absolutely horrific. It was incredibly lifelike, if there's such a thing as a lifelike pig human mask. But she and I have 2 older brothers too, and they would constantly, they'd wear this mask and just terrify me. And so a lot of my memories of Halloween aren't necessarily related to trick-or-treating as much as they are just to being kind of frightened by my siblings, and my mom in particular. There was another, she had this huge life-size Gumby inflatable thing that I guess life-size is in like human size, and I remember one time she leaned it up against my door, and in the morning before school I opened my door, and this massive Gumby just kind of came at me.
Mischief Night is tonight.
Did you know that Mischief Night is over 200 years old?
And there are a lot of pranks that come with that, like TPing, egging, and a whole other variety of things.
We went around to see what some people did last year. Here's what we found.
A few years ago, some of the fun on Mischief Night got taken too far. Some students at Fairfield Country Day School TP'd and egged the school. Brandon Rakowski was one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Brandon Rakowski.
Hello.
He was involved at the events at Fairfield Country Day School a few years ago.
Makes it sound really intense.
Oh yeah.
Do you want me to give you a brief description of the events?
Absolutely,
Alright,
that'd be lovely.
Cool. So I went out on Mischief Night. I was in probably about 4th grade. I was no more than 2 feet tall at most. And we ran around with hoodies and vandalized the entire place with shaving cream and toilet paper, and accidentally broke a window, and that's when the cops showed up.
Oh wow, so what was the consequence for you guys?
What was the consequence? We had to clean the entire place.
Well, how much did you guys do? Enough that it took a long
It
time?
took about an hour. Like an hour. It took a solid hour. I mean, that's not that long, but you try having a cop breathing down your throat while you clean at, 12 years old, 11 years old. But we cleaned everything up. I don't even know what happened to the window either. I don't think we paid for it.
Alright, so based on your actions on this previous Mischief Night and the consequences you've received, how does that influence
like
your
my
actions in the
perspective
future? Your
on the
perspective
world? Like it's changed me? Well, I could tell you for the camera that I would never do Mischief Night again because that's terrible and I don't want to get caught for vandalism, but I'm going to do Mischief Night again.
You heard it here, folks.
Because it's a good time. And I think as long as you don't use eggs, like the toilet paper and the shaving cream, that's all good. It's just all in good fun.
All good fun.
All in good fun.
I know Mischief Night is a long-standing tradition that was around when I was a kid, and geez, I even think it was around when Mr. Francis was a kid. But simply put, you're going to go out and get yourself in trouble. The schools all have extra security. The Westport Police are well aware of this long-standing tradition. And if you go out and think it's fun to throw eggs or toilet paper or damage somebody's personal property, it's probably not going to be worth your time. I know the infractions you're going to get are going to be costly. You'll get arrested. There'll be probably vandalism charges. We've had situations in years past where people have damaged, expensive mailboxes that ended up costing, I want to say, $1,200 because the masonry was destroyed. So I'd ask you guys all to think long and hard before you go out and think it's fun to ruin someone else's personal belongings or property, that it's not worth it. It's going to impact you possibly with a police record and possibly out of your savings account. Thanks.
My little spirit friend would like you to know to come out tonight at Fairfield Ludlow at 7 o'clock to watch the girls volleyball play Darien in the semifinals of the FCAC. WWPT will be there covering it. Happy Halloween, Staples!